Mimi. And that is why I'm going to run for Congress, Amy.
Yeah, you should. Welcome to Over the Ledge Live, the podcast, the #1 and some say only political satire show based solely on the Texas legislature. So far, we haven't been banned by the Texas legislature because we're not a book. Over the Ledge gives you a behind-the-scenes look at the shenanigans of the Texas Ledge by decoding political headlines and legislators' behavior into easy-to-understand single ant jokes. We're just as funny, but not as famous. Yet. Let's meet our guest tonight. First up, we have our beloved Aaron Salinas. Aaron is an actor, writer, director, and podcaster with passion for good times, fun vibes, and the Spurs glory days. You can catch him on his podcast, Shame Watch, or streaming video games on Twitch with the Con Save. Welcome, Aaron Salinas.
Yay.
Correction on that. We actually just stopped streaming on Sundays, but still come hang out on other things and stuff. Fun vibes all around. Spurs are in a downhill year, but yeah, fun vibes.
Great. Second, we have a very special guest for you, Symply Courtney. He is a comic, a storyteller, and a beatboxer who has performed all over Texas in comedy clubs, bars, churches, community centers, a gun store, and even a train. He can also be seen performing all over Texas stages with the award-winning improv group Sugar Water Purple. Welcome, Symply Courtney.
Hello.
Thanks for being here.
Our very special celebrity guest for tonight is Lieutenant Governor candidate Matthew Dowd. Dowd is a trusted, influential voice, author, and media analyst, widely respected for bringing a common sense perspective to cultural, political, economic, and spiritual trends. He has worked in Texas for Congressman J.J. Pickle, Democrat of Texas, the Texas Democratic Party, U.S. Senator Lloyd Bentsen, and Lieutenant Governor Bob Bullock, who was the last Democrat to win the office of Lieutenant Governor. After being named a rising national star by Campaigns and Elections magazine, he co-founded Public Strategies, Inc., an Austin-based public relations company. Please welcome Matthew Dowd to Over the Ledge. Welcome.
Thank you.
Yay.
Great to be here with y'all.
Yay. We really appreciate your time.
And finally, we have the creator and the ruler of the Over the Ledge empire, who needs no introduction. Stephanie, can't you be more original than trying to ban books again? Chiarello.
Yay!
Awesome.
Thank you. Thank you so much for being here, everybody. I'm super excited. And I want you to know we have 6 live viewers, which is like twice as many as normal. So wowzers.
Numbers are climbing. Look at us.
Numbers are climbing. Let's talk about what's happening in Texas the last couple of weeks. What do you think?
Can't be good, but let's do it.
Okay. I'm going to do it anyway. All right. A poll on the popularity of potential governors found almost a quarter of Texans have an unfavorable impression of Matthew McConaughey. I see Dallas isn't buying this fan club. They don't think he's the most interstellar choice out there.
Oh my God.
I guess that's how you lose a race in 10 days.
I've also heard he's got bad BO.
I've heard that too. And there was a little trouble with him not wanting to vaccinate his kids.
Oh.
He was a gentleman on the Newton Boys.
Oh, that's right. You worked with him. Thank you, Amy.
I worked with him a long time ago.
Did he smell?
No.
Oh, okay.
I did love the movie Interstellar. I did love the movie Interstellar.
Same.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
That film score was great.
Yeah, and that sort of that spiritual side of it, which the whole thing about love goes beyond, it's the most powerful force. I thought it was a great, that thematic was great.
Agreed.
He was also in Contact with Jodie Foster. Remember this?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
Don't forget about that.
He was good in Lincoln Lawyer.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Texas Chainsaw. That's what he's known for.
And I'm trying to think of more things. Yeah. Well, I think we're going to reconsider our opinion of Matthew McConaughey. Okay, the Texas Tribune released its ranking of state lawmakers from left to right, a report legislators eagerly refer to as the who's who of political grandstanding. Coming in most conservatives are Rep/Child of the Corn, Briscoe Kane, and Senator/Baby Boss, Brian Hughes. You can find them facing off this weekend for their next title, Hottest Anti-Vaxxer, and hottest as in running the hottest fever.
Oh my goodness.
That was good.
All right.
Stuck the landing on that one.
Attorney General candidates are trying hard to prove their conservative credentials, like State Rep Matt Krause, who released 850 books he thinks should be banned from schools because they mention race or sexuality. I think he's just worried if students are too well informed, they might run against him because that's 850 books more than he's ever read.
Ooh, yeah.
Another alternate punchline. After that, the only book left to read will be his memoir, Matt Krause, straight white man who is definitely secure and not at all tempted by Bridgerton's. Is it Roger Jean Page? Roger Jean Page. All right.
I really thought you were going to stop at straight white man.
No, definitely
think that was his
not.
memoir.
Definitely secure. Yeah, that's a better joke. All right, we'll edit that. Governor Abbott is also doing some good old-fashioned book banning by asking schools to remove books like In the Dream House, a memoir about an abusive relationship between two women. I think he's just afraid that if Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick reads it, he might realize it's about the two of them. I don't know what the joke is there. Is it that they're acting like women or that they're in an abusive relationship? What do you think? I just liked the cadence of it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the abusive relationship, personally.
Okay.
Yeah, it could be instructive for both of them.
Yeah. Now, you know, this book banning is just another attack on the liberals in Austin. I mean, I really don't see the problem with students reading 50 Shades of Grey Crayola, Karma Sutra for Teens, or Bill Clinton's Giving.
I don't know if these are real books or not.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Bill Clinton's Giving is. That's the joke. Ah. You still there, Matthew? Great.
I'm still here. I'm listening. I
just want to be sure.
I'm bouncing along.
So far, we have an 8 and 10 guests who stay past the monologue. All right. The Texas Department of State Health Services investigation into a rare human case of rabies in a child that got bitten by a bat hit a wall when they traced the bat to a colony living at the governor's mansion. Despite repeated attempts, every time they thought they'd caught the offending bat in their trap, they'd opened the trap to find Governor Greg Abbott sitting there eating the bait. Now, I'm not one for conspiracy theories, and I'm not saying that the governor is a vampire, but I am saying he sucks.
You're here.
And finally, the Justice Department is suing Texas over Senate Bill 1 for disenfranchising elderly, disabled, and limited English proficiency voters. Governor Abbott responded, "Glad to hear it's working." And that's what's happening in the Texas legislature. Thank you, Amy.
We want to take a special moment to thank our sponsors. We're 71% of the way towards our $10,000 goal. And if you're so inspired, please support us by becoming a sponsor at bit.ly/OTL2021 fundraiser, but no pressure. We're just glad you're here. I mean, you could tell your friends about us, but really, we're just glad you're here. Thank you to Dina Joe, Heidi Dacelin Foundation, Braden Frame, Stephanie's mom and dad, Catherine and Craig, Superfans, Brett and Christina, Carla J. Ackerson, Andrew Durham, April Shapley, Audrey Wick, the Banner family, Sherry Nappy, Carrie Tilton Jones, Jennifer Brown, Merrick Garb, James Canup, and 8 other wonderful anonymous donors.
Thank you.
Stephanie, that was a great monologue. It's a good thing
Thank
the
you.
show is your idea, or else we'd be banning you from hosting. Okay, audience, let me tell you how this podcast works. On tonight's episode, Aaron and Symply Courtney are competing against each other for the coveted Most Knowledgeable Comedian in Austin award. Comedians, please be aware that you can each phone a friend 3 times if you're stuck on a question. And by friend, we mean Matthew Dowd. This award is given to the comedian who knows the most about Texas politics, according to the outcome of the games on our show. Stephanie, please show the award.
Oh, we got to see this.
Yep. That's good. very coveted.
Oh my gosh. Is that from like your fourth grade? Did you remodeled something from fourth grade or something? What is that?
I'm so glad you recognized it. Yes, it's the bowling trophy. I beat you in the contest. I know you act like you don't remember me, but that's it, Matthew. I
Yeah, but
still have it.
You had bumpers in your lane.
Oh, bumpers.
Jealous.
Yes, very jealous. Always been jealous.
Whoever wins gets their picture taken with our special guest, Matthew Dowd. Mr. Dowd will post the picture on his social media, announcing that the winning comedian is the most knowledgeable comedian in Austin. Stephanie, do we ask Matthew if he's okay with this?
No,
Nobody asked me if I was okay with it. Go ahead and send it to my people.
Oh, he's not gonna post it. I've been told that before. Yeah, just talk to my people. I've been told that before, Matthew.
Since Matthew Dowd is running for Lieutenant Governor of Texas, let's figure out what and why is Lieutenant Governor in our first game. As always, comedians can ask our special guest for help a total of 3 times apiece between the 2 games that they play.
Help.
Matthew, please feel free to jump in at any time, but remember, they won't learn if we don't make them struggle a little.
Matthew, help. Matthew,
I want
help.
to see a lot of. I want to see a
He's
lot
already
of struggle.
asking.
I want to see struggle.
I'm struggling right now. You seeing it? Can you see my screen?
I
Yes,
can
we
see
see
you.
it.
This is the face of struggle right now. Not you,
Oh,
Aaron.
no.
I'm going against you. I'm talking to Matthew.
Oh, my bad. Are we
Yes,
coming
I'm
out
struggling.
heated already?
That's
This
right.
is the face of struggle right now, Matthew. I'm struggling. Help me out.
Perfect.
All right.
Help
I
me
think
Let's
we-
out.
text with each other while they ask the question.
Okay.
Go for
You
it.
got
Let's
Venmo?
see, let's hear
You
the
got
question.
Venmo or Cash App? What you got?
Okay, here we go. Oh my goodness, which one am I starting with? Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick game? Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Question 1, Simply Courtney, this is to you.
Aaron, how many times have you been on this show, man? I'm looking at the Instagram.
I'm-
You're on this show all the time, so you're going to win because you're here all the time.
Do
He's
you see
here
how
all the
many
time.
times I've won? Not
He
many.
doesn't win all the time.
I don't know. I just know you're here. Go ahead and ask the question. I'm sorry. Let me be professional. Yes,
That's all
what's
right.
the question?
Which of the following are official duties of the Texas Lieutenant Governor's job? A, controlling the work of the Texas Senate. B, controlling the budgeting process as the leader of the Legislative Budget Board. C, appointing members of boards and commissions. Or D, serving as commander-in-chief of the state's military forces.
B.
Correct. It is both A and B.
All
Very
right.
good. Look at that.
I thought someone said they were going to struggle. Jesus.
I know, simply right out of the gate.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Did y'all bring me to struggle? I'll struggle. My
Because
bad.
I'm not good at these. Simply,
Was I brought to
simply-
struggle? If I was brought to struggle, I'll play my role. I'm a improviser. Like, bring him to struggle. He'll struggle. Look at him. Go ahead.
I want you to be you. Be all you, simply.
All right.
All right, Aaron, here we go. Is the lieutenant governor elected with the governor on one ticket, like we elect a presidential, vice presidential team, or independently from the governor?
I think it's independently because Matthew's running his own campaign and it's not inter-democratic nominee here, which is going to be Beto, / Matthew Dowd, right? So it's the
He got it. He got
You
it.
got it.
Hey,
You're
look
right.
at
They're
that.
separate. Bonus question. No points given. Can you have a governor and a lieutenant governor of different parties?
Come on, guys.
I mean, does
It happened
the
in-
state
it-
just
it
close
happened
if we don't?
It
Like,
happened in 1994.
I was
Yes.
born.
Yes,
1990.
Simply got it. Simply Courtney got it. Yes.
Ah,
Should we
You
give
don't
him
have-
an extra point? That was a
No.
bonus question.
The last time it happened was 1994.
was
And
that
who
Ann
was
Richards?
It
No,
was
that's when
Bob Bullock
Bush
and-
won and Bullock won.
Oh,
We had. Okay, I'm not going to make the joke about Bush and Bullock. Okay, Simply back to you. Texas's lieutenant governor position is A, stronger than most other states, B, weaker than most other states, C, guess what's coming, about the same power as most other states, or on par with the vice president of the United States. So how powerful is the lieutenant governor as compared to other states?
Oh, lieutenant governor. Let's say C.
No.
That's my answer though. Whether it's wrong or right,
He's
that's
just
my
going
answer.
for it. There's no inner monologue. Matthew,
No.
would you tell us the truth?
A.
Stronger than most states. Why?
Because he gets to given him vested powers to him to control legislation in the state senate, and most other lieutenant governors just sit around in a room near the governor's office calling the doctor every day to see if the governor's still healthy.
Talk your
all
trash,
they
Matthew.
do.
Okay, that came from a real place, Matthew. It was like most other lieutenant governors. They just be sitting in the side room hoping that they can get something power today. But the one in Texas, he already got power. His hands are dirty. He got dirty hands.
He is
the other ones. They manicured hands and stuff.
Oh, now he's just talking shit because I just painted my nails. Now it's just-
Boy, I can see your nails. I don't know nothing about. Are you the lieutenant governor? I ain't got nothing.
I mean-
Are you the lieutenant governor though? That don't mean nothing. Paint your nails. Do it. I'm talking about the lieutenant governor.
Matthew, is it true that the senators control the power of the lieutenant governor in Texas?
Yeah, well, the senators can decide. The senators vest the power. I mean, that legislative power in the lieutenant governor. So
Thank you.
they could make a decision to do what they haven't done. And really, the power of lieutenant governor really started in the 40s. In the 1940s is when it really began to be consolidated. But they could go back. They could go back to before the 40s.
Oh no! Don't go back before the 40s.
No, it's bad.
Well,
enough
as long
we're-
as they skip over the 50s, if I don't mind, you skip over the 50s.
All right, Aaron. Before becoming lieutenant governor in 2015, Dan Patrick had which of these jobs? A, sportscaster nicknamed the Silver-Tongued Devil. B, co-owner of a chain of sports bars that went bankrupt. C, owner of a talk radio station who signed an unknown person named Rush Limbaugh. D, all of the above.
I will say A sounds kinky, but I'm gonna say C. I know he's from Maryland. That's all I really know.
Okay, the answer is actually D. All those things are
All
true.
those things.
Really?
That's all of them.
He was the silver-tongued what?
Devil.
And that's just what his wife called him.
Hey, I just answer my question if this is a family-friendly show or
Yeah,
not.
that was-
It is not Simply
Oh.
Courtney. It is
I thought
not.
we weren't going to go into porn names.
That's in the second game, Matthew. That's in the second game. All right, back to you, Courtney. Dan
Hello.
Patrick championed which of the following major pieces of legislation as lieutenant governor? A, gun laws like campus carry and open carry. B, a bill allowing pastors to refuse marrying couples if it violated their beliefs. C, prohibiting state or local governments from issuing subpoenas on pastors' sermons. Or D, all of the above.
I think it's
And let me
D, all
hear
of the
your-
above, but I could be wrong though.
Let me hear your inner monologue, Simply Courtney. What makes you think D?
It was just D because it felt like that's something. I know. I feel like all of that we are getting lampooned all over the place because of what's going on here in Texas. So a lot of artists, for instance, aren't wanting to perform here, or they're threatening to boycott our state entirely. So I feel like all of those are true, but I don't know.
I think you're right. And you are.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
Are you from here? Simply Courtney, are you from Texas?
I was gonna say, where are y'all at? Yes, I'm from Texas. I'm from Austin, Texas.
Okay.
oh wow.
Yes.
No,
Okay,
you could
Aaron.
probably list off 22 things that would be the most bizarre things and be like, yeah, Dan Patrick tried to do that.
It just, well, you know what? A lot of my friends are super active in that, and so unfortunately, yes.
Yeah.
They're all talking about the different rights that are either threatened to be violated or have already outright been violated by certain things that have been signed into passage. So
Well, if there's one group of people I know can organize, it's not artists.
isn't that crazy though?
We'll have a great, like, we'll be funny and have great ideas, but I don't think it'd be like Nincompoop Corner.
Half of us
Right.
would be late. The other half just sent it to junk mail. Like, yeah. It's
Yeah, we'd all be trying to make each other laugh and never really accomplishing the goal.
we'd all try to
Let's
be the
do it.
funniest in the room and not get shit done. Like,
That's right. Let's
Hey,
let's
the beauty,
organize it.
I will say, during the past summer, we actually stood up, at least stand up. I ran into a lot of stand up comics out there, despite it being a pandemic and being a little bit of sketchy and scary out there. I ran into a lot of my brother and sisters out there protesting it. So I don't know if that's true anymore because I was surprised out of the wazoo to see so many familiar faces out there. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, I
I'm
love
about
that.
the only black person here, and I'm not the only black person out here, and nor am I. I don't know. I'm not gonna get into it, but it was really cool to see a lot of us standing up for people that look like me. So
Good.
I love that.
That's
I
awesome.
love that. Aaron, what is Dan Patrick's birth name? A. Daniel Patrick. B. Danson Patrick. C. Danny Scott Gobe. D. Danny Scott Patrick.
I feel like you threw me off with C. I really do.
You can.
Oh,
Oh,
oh.
Are you looking it up?
No,
No, he's
Matthew's-
staring at
Matthew's telling me
Matthew.
he's either a Crip or he's telling me to go with C. So I'm going with C.
You've used your special hand. I'm writing it down.
you're correct. His name is Danny Scott Gobe, and I think you mean as in the gang member.
Yeah, as in the
of
gang
Crip.
member Crip.
Yeah, I want to be sure we said that very quickly.
and we all just got canceled. Yay!
We got
Or
the lieutenant
ableist.
governor talking about porn, which is great because normally they just look at it in the back room and never talk about it. So I appreciate
And
that.
then try to make it
Matthew.
illegal.
Yes, and then
Might
we
as
make
well.
a joke. Wow. Yeah, Danny Scott Gobe. And he claims to have changed it for show business purposes, not because he bankrupted a business, but you decide.
Mhm.
You decide. Danny Gobe. Okay, right back to you, Simply Courtney. Name any other lieutenant governor of Texas. And I really hoped that was going to be your question, Aaron, so you'd be mad at me. Can you name any other lieutenant governor of Texas? And
I
don't
can't
forget,
name any other lieutenant governor of Texas, but I can name a future one, Matthew Dowd. Y'all did that.
I love that. He's on board.
If I don't get a tag on your Instagram, homie, we're gonna have to talk after this. I'm just saying. No, I don't have an answer for that.
You can phone a friend.
You can phone a friend.
I ain't got no
We're-
friends that care about this stuff. I'm sorry. Y'all gonna be mad
Hey,
at me.
No,
for that.
Matthew.
I'm gonna be
Matthew.
real. I ain't got no friends that care enough about
Hey,
that.
Simply,
Go ahead.
Bob Bullock.
All right, let me try it. I'm gonna give my answer. I'm gonna talk about my mic.
I'm ready.
Bob Bullock.
How did you know?
I called a friend.
Know?
You know who my friend was?
Called a
The
friend.
future Lieutenant Governor Matthew Dowd. You know what I'm saying?
All right, Aaron, I'm going to give you an opportunity. Can you name any other lieutenant governor?
Greg Abbott.
Nope.
No.
No, he was Attorney General. Shit, that's right.
Okay. You
Hey,
knew
but I
that?
should get a point for that because I do know he really made some really restricted policies when he was AG. But another lieutenant.
Hey, an airport in Houston is named after him.
My dumbass almost said Dallas Love Field, but it's Dallas is the name.
Come on. Airport in Houston is named after him.
Oh, George Bush?
Oh my God.
Okay, I don't think you get a point for that. Simply Courtney's in the lead.
So
What?
we get lots of
it's
points.
Hobby.
Aaron,
Bill
Bill
Hobby.
Hobby, right? What's the first name of Hobby, though? What's
Bill.
the first name?
Bill Hobby.
I thought so. I was gonna say William Hobby. Okay, cool.
Oh,
Rick,
Look at
Rick
that.
Perry.
Can we give
Rick
him a
Perry
second?
Rick Perry was lieutenant governor.
that's right.
I knew that. Rick Perry, God dang it. I should've
Wasn't
said
there another one that's named after Bob Hall? Was Bob Hall one?
I don't think so. David Dewhurst. He was one. David Dewhurst.
My favorite, of course, is Fletcher Summerfield Stockdale.
Damn.
He was my favorite.
That's
Bless
a
his
name.
heart.
that.
Died in 1865. I'm sorry. He served until 1865, 10th session.
Probably died in
Wow.
1865 too. Though. I'm just saying. Not that
Probably.
big of a stretch.
Probably. Okay. All right. Great. Good. Guys, I'm so proud. I really am because I think this is really important for Matthew to see that, there's a big learning curve here for us and he's here to take us Take us there. And next lieutenant governor. And look at this friendly relationship we already have with him.
Oh, can I tell y'all a funny story real quick about that?
Yes, sir.
Please.
So I ran Bullock's campaign in 90. And if anybody knew Bullock, he had quite the huge personality. And he was married 5 times, went to drunk school, all the stuff in his life. I loved the guy. He was a good friend of mine. And this goes to the, people don't know who the lieutenant governor is. And so after the election, he won the first time in 1990. And he was thinking, I'm a big deal. I'm a big deal. Everybody now knows me in Texas. So I did a poll a week after election day of all I asked was the people that just had voted a week before, what was the name of the 2 candidates for lieutenant governor? Only 30% of the people that had just voted could name the candidates for lieutenant governor. So I showed it to him. I handed it to him. I said, "You're not a big deal."
And he fired you.
No, he never fired me.
Okay, so hold on. I have a few more because I really I added a few here at the end. So Aaron, we're going to talk about.
No, it's Simply Courtney's turn because they've each had 4. They've each had 4.
Simply Courtney was 7, and then I let Aaron also try. So this is question 8.
Oh.
For Aaron, I think. I'm sticking to it. Aaron, you have to tell me, is what I'm about to say about current Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick or about former Lieutenant Governor Bob Bullock? Okay. Here's the statement. In a certain year, insert man's name here, was treated after a heart attack, which he said, quote, came as a great surprise to people because they didn't think I had one. Did Dan Patrick say this about himself or Bob Bullock?
Well, I know Bob Bullock has an IMAX, but
Wow.
I'm gonna say Bullock. That sounds like fun and charming, and sounds like he's got a soul.
True story.
Hey, he's got a
Side
heart
note-
and an IMAX theater.
That's right. Side note, Dan Patrick also had a heart attack, surprise, or blockage about a year or 2 ago. Okay. Simply Courtney, same question. Is this about Dan Patrick or Bob Bullock? And someone else is telling a story here. He says, his fights with the media also were notorious. One time, the publisher of the Mount Pleasant Tribune opened a box that came in the mail to find cow manure and a note from the lieutenant governor. It read, "This is bull, and so is your column."
Sounds like Bob Bullock. Wow.
You're
Just
right.
probably because of the timing. It just seems I don't think you can get away with a lot of that now with the way the media is on everything. You probably get canceled for doing that. So I don't think you'll definitely get canceled for doing that now. But yeah,
Matthew, do you know
definitely
this
Bob Bullock.
story firsthand?
I've heard so many different stories that were various things he did like that.
Wow.
He wrote a letter to a guy in that I saw. I forget where he was from, and a guy had complained about something, and he had sent so many complaint letters. Bullock sent him a letter and said, "You're the first time I've gotten a letter from somebody where I've decided that we ought to have a sanity test for people that vote." And that's all he wrote back to him.
Wow.
Bang bang, shots fired.
He was. I'll tell you something. He in 1989. I don't know if none of y'all. Some of you may remember this. So it was all the questions when the first questions were getting asked about drug use. This was back in the day when everybody, did you smoke pot? Did you smoke pot? This was back in that time period. So Bullock at a press conference got asked if he'd ever done any drugs, smoke pot or different drugs. And he paused for a second. And he said, "Listen, I was drunk for 30 years. I have no idea what I did." And they didn't ask another question.
I'm going to start using that. Do you plan on bringing back some of these Bob Bullock tactics, Matthew, when you're... Because I will help you send boxes of shit to people. I just want you to know
Oh,
that.
good. You
Volunteered
can
to
come up
serve
with a
you.
list together. We can come up with a list together.
All right, final question is back to you, Aaron. Again, Patrick or Bullock. He clearly dreams big and works hard, but his high regard for his own efforts and his flair for the overdramatic often backfired. As one Republican insider put it, at some point the other members got tired of his noble causes and Jimmy swaggered tearful moments.
I can't. I don't know. Because I know the Republicans don't like Dan Patrick. Like he's just like the annoying little brother you got to just let come with you to the movies because your mom said. I kind of feel like Mr. Gobe.
You're correct. It is Danny Gobe. That was Danny Gobe. And that was when he was a senator, and now he's lieutenant governor. So there's that. All right, Amy, how did we do? Could you keep track?
I could keep track, but we have a tie, and I always like not want to have a tie. So tied neck and neck, 4-4. Yeah,
Okay.
doing very well.
Okay, great.
In 2006, Matthew Dowd wrote a book called Applebee's America and argued that successful candidates must make a gut values connection with voters. I think he named it Applebee's because that restaurant sure knows the way to your gut with their double burrito over fried onions with gravy Patriot special. How do voters, consumers, and churchgoers really evaluate their candidates? I do it just like my wines. Are they cheap and do they screw off the top? If you must decide if the below statement is a myth or reality, as of 2006, you must decide if the below statement is a myth or reality as of 2006. Matthew, we will be asking you if this needs an update for 2021 since the world is on fire. Let's play.
Hey, we got a heart on
myth or reality. Oh,
yeah. Okay, we got 11 viewers and 1 heart. We are killing it today. Okay. Which doesn't mean there aren't people who aren't just checking in. Okay, question 1. Back to you, Symply Courtney. Is this a myth or a reality according to this 2006 book? A company's product, a candidate's policies, or a pastor's sermons are the main appeal for most people. Is this myth or reality?
Reality.
Myth.
Okay.
I'm
The
surprised.
reality, do you know it by heart, Matthew?
No, go for it.
People are looking first for a gut values connection. And I was hoping you would tell us, what is gut values?
Well, I can happy to do that because I think it's even more applicable today than it was back then. People want a sense that you share their same values like honesty or integrity or tolerance or treating everybody with respect. They want to know that before they ever get to policies, before they people have an emotional connection before they have a rational connection. That's his true. Donald Trump is prima facie evidence of that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People thought he was reliable and trustworthy and
No,
ethical.
people thought he represented their values. Now that may be a totally skewed sense of things, but it wasn't a rational decision. He
appealed to their emotional, like he appeared to the I'm gonna say it because I'll speak on my own behalf. He appealed to the irrational nature and the fear that was going on in America at that exact moment. And a lot of people who felt that, he was echoing their sentiments. Do I agree with it? Hell no. But do I know where they were coming from? I do. I could see the writings on the wall. And with everything that happened, I'm going to speak as the black dude here. We wasn't surprised, okay? I know y'all like, what? Were y'all surprised? No, we were not surprised. I live in Texas. Come on. Like,
I wasn't surprised either.
No.
I wasn't surprised either because I mean, what people forget about America is that this has been our story for 240 years. We haven't always acknowledged it, but there's always been a large element of America that doesn't want change.
Right.
I'm
going to stop you there. That sounds like critical race theory, and I cannot have any discussion.
Where'd I go?
Yeah, because like the top kind of came off for Trump whenever and he got a lot of support after the wall comments, right? When he was like, we're going to build a wall, we're going to have Mexico pay for it, and everybody was like, oh, finally, immigration's going to get taken care of, the invasion's over, and that's when he the flooding of support kind of came in after that.
Well, I think it was something more fundamental. I mean, I agree that that was a key thing for him, but I think it was more fundamental because I think that America is becoming and has become a multicultural, multi-ethnic democracy, right? And there's a group of voters in this country that don't want that or don't like that. And that's existed ever since only white guys with power that were Christians could vote at the founding of our country. And we've slowly expanded that, slowly by pushing and shoving and people protesting and all of that. But there is a at the basis of that build the wall is a sense of, I don't like how my country has changed.
Right. And I think the change that came, just to kind of echo what you just said, Matthew, the change is that they wanted change because in theory, what they thought they were going with when they voted for Trump, and I spoke with plenty of people on this, including relatives, is that they were getting away from what they would consider the big business of traditional politics. And they would go with somebody that in their mindset had a completely clean slate. And although he was Republican, you got to keep in mind, he was newly Republican. He literally just kind of ran where he could fit in. So it was one of those things there. Did you get it?
I did.
Everybody give Stephanie a hand.
I got it.
Hey.
Thank you.
But yeah, so he just kind of got in where he could fit in. And I mean, hey, it was one of those things that people were looking for something to plug a leak. I guess pun unintended in this case. And he was what they thought was the cork. There's so many jokes I could have did there, but you know what? I'm just gonna leave low-hanging fruit for where it is. But, yeah.
All right, Aaron, myth or reality? Technology has created a more disconnected nation.
I'm going to say reality, because in the age of information, we're getting so much disinformation that people are crediting as truth. And I'm just tired of like my aunt sending me shit on Facebook that wants to give my computer a virus. So,
Well, you have to remember this book was written before Facebook. So according to the book, the answer is this is a myth. The reality is Americans are using new technologies to build new forms of community and civic engagement. Matthew, 2021 update.
I would totally, I think the opposite has taken place. The social media and these technologies promise two things. Okay. One, it would bring us closer together. It'd bring us closer together and bind us closer with the technologies. And it would be a greater place of knowledge and truth that could be discovered, because more people would have access to different sources. It is actually done the opposite of those two things. We are now further from the truth because of people looking for any site they can with any conspiracy theory. And we're more divided today than we ever were. So if I were writing that today, I mean, and I didn't know, and this was before Twitter, before Facebook, before any of that. And what's happened? Those social media sites have taken us further from the truth and caused us to be more divided.
Okay. I think I'm going to give Aaron a point there.
because I read the future.
Yeah.
Go, Aaron. Read the future.
Okay, Symply Courtney, back to you. A vast majority of megachurch worshipers are anti-gay, anti-abortion, conservative Republicans. Myth or reality?
And this is from back then, right?
Correct. And you can ask Matthew directly.
I'm having fun just guessing. I'm weird. Y'all know this about me. I like just guessing. I don't care. I ain't got no there ain't no fear over here. I'm just like, okay.
Do you want to see the trophy again? The stakes are high.
I am very vested in winning this trophy, okay?
Did I mention that this is a fine marble base?
I love it. They're
Yeah.
fine marble bases. Doing it. Let's go with, and it's run it back one more time. Let me make sure I hear every single part of it, just so I give a little more, put more.
In
effort
a
into it.
world
Uh-huh.
where a vast majority of megachurch worshipers are anti-gay, anti-abortion, conservative Republicans.
Let's go with let's run myth just because I said reality earlier.
You're right, it's a myth.
All right.
Few megachurches are politically active because they don't want to turn off a single potential customer. A surprisingly large portion of megachurch worshipers are Democrats and independents. Matthew, 2021 update, go.
This is good, Stephanie. I think it's because I don't know if I would say the vast majority, but I think it's moved in a more homogeneous direction where these large evangelical churches have become more anti-gay, more anti-abortion over the last 15 years. So I would say, I don't know if it's fully a majority, but it's moving, it's becoming much more politically aligned with the conservative Republican Party.
Okay, well, I don't want to give you something new to do, but I think you need to update this book.
I just wrote a new book.
Well, maybe there weren't excerpts on the internet for me to go to, Matthew.
He's like, where that book at? Where that damn book at? It's a bestseller on the Texas charts right now. How you gonna tell me what I need to do? You need to go.
I'm gonna walk away from this chair and get my book. Get my new book.
Go get the book.
You do that.
Matt, don't let him do you like that. Go get the book. Open that big old door.
That's some
Jesus
doors.
Christ, ladies.
Damn.
Well,
See this door?
never had a guest walk out before. Good job, Simply
Did y'all
Courtney.
see
We
the
did
door?
it.
There it
Oh,
is.
there
Matt,
it is.
Matt,
Can we highlight
We
his
can't read-
screen, Tom?
Sorry, I got to interrupt. Hold him up, man.
We
Whoops,
can't
nope.
see.
What did you just open?
I'm trying
Did
to
you
make.
open a dungeon?
The Game of Thrones door.
Did you see that here? That was a raincore in here.
Oh, I don't know what I'm doing. Make him big, Tom. Can you make his screen the biggest
So we can read the.
solo layout? Let's see.
Oh,
Boom.
Revelations on the river. Revelations on the river.
Is he frozen for everybody or just me?
Yeah, he's clipping for all of us.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
All right.
If we see each other, I'll give you all each a signed copy.
Great.
Oh, that'd be so nice.
I love free stuff.
Heck yeah.
All right.
Let
We'll
us
have to
hear
go
it.
to his home, guys. He lives near the river.
I want to go to his home. He just opened the door that's bigger than my entire room. Can I visit you? Please help. Let me visit you when the power go out, please.
All right. I'm coming back to Aaron, right?
Yep.
Okay. Myth or reality? The electorate is the electorate. The electorate, or as I like to say,
Like
the
expectorate.
electorate.
It's like you take an electorate for a cough.
Yeah. The electrolytes are divided into Republican red states and Democratic blue states. Myth or reality? Aaron.
Hold on. Say that. I was stuck on the first word you said.
That's right. The strategery of the electorate. The electorate is divided. Voters are divided into Republican red states and Democratic blue states.
Reality?
Myth.
What?
Americans are highly mobile and self-polarizing, so it makes more sense to categorize them by their lifestyle choices rather than arbitrary geographic boundaries. We call them red tribes, blue tribes, and tipping tribes. Matthew, update.
I think that in the way we explained it in there, I mean, obviously in electoral college, you vote by state and you obviously have elections by state. But if you examine the country, it like the people in Houston have more in common with the people in Nashville or the people in Chicago or the people in San Diego than they do with somebody in Lufkin. So it's not like a fully so you look somebody in Lufkin has more in common with somebody from upstate New York than they do with somebody in Houston. So each state is composed of tribes. And so though we base the electoral college on states, each state is tribal by its nature.
And it's because of this reason that the state of Oregon is wanting to split up, right?
Yep.
Because the entire literal right side of Oregon is like Portland does not share our values.
Yep.
We're closer related to
everything
the
in
entire state of Idaho.
everything in Eastern Oregon is like West Texas.
Yeah. I found that fascinating that there is a true movement to literally divide the state of Oregon in half and give it to Idaho, and they become the second largest state.
Wow. Matthew, are you comfortable answering? You do not have to. Do you think we should get rid of the Electoral College?
I think, well, it would require a constitutional amendment, and I don't think that's ever happening. I think we have to have a better system that allows majority rule. Right now, we don't have majority rule, and that's the huge problem in our country. And that's gerrymandering, that's the Electoral College. And we need, like the U.S. Senate, the U.S. Senate today, 6 senators have the same population as 60 senators. 6 senators represent the same population as 60 and doesn't allow for majority rule. And that's a problem.
Thank you. Simply Courtney,
Okay.
myth or reality? Americans always vote their self-interest.
I'm just gonna answer for me personally. I think that's a myth.
You're right.
He's right.
The reality is their idea of self-interest is more selfless than most politicians realize. Voters will turn to a candidate who reflects their gut values over one who sides with them on policies. Matthew, update.
True. It's even more true today than ever before.
Yep.
All right, Aaron, last question. The best indicator of how a person will vote is their voting history or views on abortion, taxes, and other issues.
Say that one more time.
The best indicator of how a person will vote is their voting history or views on abortion, taxes, and other issues.
I'm going to say the wording's tripping me up. The myth.
You're right. Reality, the key to predicting how a person will vote is their lifestyle choices. To borrow, and I quote, and bastardize a phrase from President Clinton's 1992 campaign, it's the lifestyles, stupid. I don't remember him ever saying that.
He didn't. It was paraphrased. He said it's the economy.
Okay.
Maybe that
Whatever article I stole all these quotes from, they did not plagiarize you well. Update. Matthew, is there an update to this?
Yeah, buy this new book.
Yes.
Solid plug.
Oh, I can read it. That time I could read it. Revelations by the River.
Revelations on the River.
Oh, okay. You know, I do have book club coming up, so I will recommend this book. Amy, do we have a clear winner?
We have a tie.
Oh, my God.
Yep.
Okay, don't worry. I have a tiebreaker question in the other game. Back to what and why. What is and why is Lieutenant Governor? Here's your tiebreaker. Oh, I already asked that one. Uh-oh. Okay. True or false? Simply Courtney. Did Dan Patrick flip-flop on important gun laws? So actually, yes or no?
No.
Yes, he did.
Okay.
After a mass shooting in 2019, he supported background checks for private gun sales, but then he passed permitless carry in 2021. Okay, Aaron.
He also supported red flag laws, and then he went back. He flip-flopped on that. He supported red flag laws too, and he flip-flopped on that.
Talk
He also
yourself,
supported
Matthew
more
Dowd.
doors.
Yeah.
Talk your trash about him. Let him know.
He doesn't want to do anything about any of this because he's pulled around a chain by the NRA.
Ooh.
Real shot.
Around
Like
a chain.
somebody
Shots
in
fired. Hold on.
he's pulled around a chain like somebody in an S&M parlor.
Ooh, Tom, can you put that on the screen?
Fool. Yo,
And
he
then they
talking
call him
about you.
Silver Tongue Devil.
I
I'm
want
gonna
to
be
cut.
behind, Matthew, I'm just gonna be behind you going, yep, damn right he said that. And your mama, yeah, he said that.
He can be my translator. Like remember
I'm
Obama?
down. I'll be your
Remember
Luther.
Obama had the
I'll
anger
be your Luther,
translator?
dude. I'll be Luther, man. I'll be like, damn right, he talking about you, damn flip-flopping ass.
All right, Aaron, you make it or break it with this one. This is myth or reality. The information age and fragmented media have caused people to turn more often to peers for advice, giving rise to navigators. And I don't know what navigators are. Myth or reality?
This was in 2006.
Yeah. The information age and fragmented media have caused people to turn more often to peers, giving rise to navigators.
I feel like that's the reality now, but I don't know if it was the reality in 2006. Shit was wild. Like, I think we'd already been on to like Shrek 2 at that point. I'm gonna say myth.
You were right when you said reality. I'm sorry.
Oh.
I have a tie. What are we
Says
going to
the
do?
glut of information has made people more independent. Okay, I'm thinking, Matt, think of a number between 1 and 10.
Me?
Yes.
Here's what I'll do. I'm going to think of an NFL team of all the NFL teams. And if they know anything, if they know me, what is my favorite NFL team that has never won the Super Bowl?
Houston Texans.
I wouldn't say it's my favorite. It's my birth team.
Dallas Mavericks.
It's an NFL. Oh my God.
I won just because everybody else got it wrong.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, I know he's from Hillsboro, right? Or Bob Bullock was from Hillsboro. Okay.
No, I was born in Motown.
So the Lions?
I was
New
born
York
in Detroit.
City.
I was born in Detroit.
You're a Lions
Motown's in
fan?
Detroit.
The Tigers. Oh, they're
What?
baseball.
Detroit Lions were the football team. So
Wait,
nobody got that.
Simply Courtney just said that. Didn't
He
you just
did?
say Detroit Lions?
I
Yes.
said Detroit Lions.
He
Yeah.
said
Very
Detroit
good.
All
Lions.
right, it's Simply. Sorry, AA Ron.
Yay.
Hey, Ron.
I mean, he said it after he was born in Motown. That's all I just want to point out.
Yes, but Stephanie didn't even know where Motown was, so I think you get a.
She also said Dallas Mavericks for NFL. So,
It was a joke. I'm a comedian.
Yeah,
oh, okay.
Oh.
we're grading on a curve here.
It's not like I said Mia Hamm was the best quarterback or something. Okay, let's all pose for a moment. Tom will take a screenshot, and Simply Courtney, you're the winner. Look surprised and happy. If you want to, you be you. And Matthew, you're like, yeah. And I'm like, hey, go Spurs. All right, I think we got whatever we're getting. All right, Amy, what's next? Bless you,
Yay,
child.
thank you.
He's clipped right. It's a perfect.
Hey, Stephanie, you know I gotta get off. I gotta get off in about 5 minutes.
No, are you serious?
No.
Yeah, at 8:30. I told them 8:30.
You have to watch the men's soccer team? What?
No. Where do you come up with this stuff?
Oh dear.
No, I can do a radio thing actually. I gotta get on. I gotta something on. So
Mm.
I told
Well,
them I had 8:30.
Okay, well, how about, yeah, you're right. We had so much fun talking with you. So I'm gonna ask you a couple of questions, and then maybe I can call you later, and we'll put a bonus episode on just you and me. Is that good?
Or tomorrow.
Okay. Okay, you're just gonna have to answer these questions like it's a lightning round. Are you ready? Are you related to my high school principal, Denny Dowd?
Ah,
He said yes.
Frozen.
He's not. He said yes. He is not related. I'm
I'm
translating.
not. But where was the high school?
Arlington, Texas.
No, I don't think so. But he probably came from the same area and I did.
All right, your
my
website.
great grandfather.
Your website says you're running for common sense, common decency, and for the common good.
Yes.
Why do you believe people have common sense and prove it?
Well, I think most people have common sense, but most of our politicians don't. So I think most people help each other out, know what to do in their neighborhood, know what to do in their communities, but we do not have politicians that have any of those three at the statewide level in Texas.
Is common sense that I know not to put my hand in a fire, or is common sense that I know vaccines prevent me from dying from a disease?
Common sense is you listen to your doctor.
Mhm.
That's common sense. You don't let Joe Rogan or Aaron Rodgers tell you about vaccines. You listen to your doctor. That's common sense.
You know, people during snowpocalypse. I think that's an example of what you're talking about.
Yeah.
People really
Okay,
help
Matthew, if you are the go-to guy on strategy, who are you going to go to on your own campaign?
Me myself.
I heard me, myself, and I. Okay.
It's the royal we of me.
The royal we of me. All right, here's this. This is where I want us to go out on is you've worked for Democrats, you've worked for Republicans. Of course, obviously I have to know, were you the mastermind behind the infamous windsurfing ad?
No, but it was a
Okay.
funny ad. It was a funny ad.
I just rewatched it.
It
So-
was a funny ad.
How do you struggle with your personal values and morals and policy ideas when you're working for someone who disagrees with you? Do you feel like you had to do that, and was the money just so good, or
No, it wasn't ever about the money. Every time I've done these things, that's what's so funny. There's so many allegations that I somehow made these breaks because of money, and in reality, was every time I made a break with one, I actually lost money in this. And so it was much more about the person and what I thought they could do. That was, I thought, aligned with my values. And George W. Bush is a perfect example. I worked for Bullock, got to know him. I thought we could go to Washington and like bring everybody together in a bipartisan way. That didn't happen. And I had a major break with him. That's when I left the Republican Party in 2007. So it's really it's always been about like my own sense of the person and what we can hope to accomplish in that. And sometimes it doesn't work out that way. Just like, as I tell people, it's like a relationship. At some, like you think it's going to be one way. And if it doesn't work out, you either leave or stay. And I've chosen along the way to make moves based on my own values and how I thought it would be aligned with what they were doing.
Why should people vote for you for lieutenant governor?
Well, first, we have to end the bad, which is like seems to be a daily basis, and the amount of Texas families are harmed. 2 is I know the office well, and I know the power it can be used for good, which was done in the 90s. And 3, our state's embarrassing. And we have to stop. I mean, I'm a proud Texan. I love this state, but I hate our politics. And we have to go back to being a proud state we are and do things the right way.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank y'all. Y'all are great.
Thank you.
Right.
You too.
Thank you,
We're going to
Matthew.
let you go.
And I do want to give each of y'all a signed book. So I'll figure it out with Stephanie at some point, how to get you everybody a signed book.
Thank you
That
so
sounds
much. Sir.
great.
All right, everybody
Wait.
stay on. We're going to talk about him as soon as he's gone. I mean,
Y'all
bye.
be good. Y'all be
Thank you,
good.
Matthew.
Bye,
Bye, Matthew.
Bye.
See y'all.
Thanks for being here.
Take care.
All
Thank
right.
you. Should we talk some more, or do you want me to?
Yeah, I want us to talk. I want
Okay.
us to talk a little bit about our interview with him and our interactions. What do we think? Symply Courtney, how involved are you in politics generally? And
I have my moments. I'm what do you call it? I call myself a fair weather person when it comes to politics, locally and national. I try my best to help. I explained to somebody one day, just having a platform, being a public facing person that's a stand up comic / entertainer. When I post stuff, there's a tendency for people to see it. And so I do promote what has my personal interest at hand, and also those that are my loved ones as well. So if I see that there's something out there that needs a push, then that's going to be me in the form of either trying to help people, get information. If I see somebody struggling saying, hey, where can I go vote? And I'm located here, I have nothing but time on my hands. I'll look it up and then I'll send it to them, whether it's a DM or I'll tag them on a post, or I may post it on my own page. But I try to be a hub for information, is how I describe myself when it comes to politics specifically.
thank you. Aaron, how are you feeling?
In regards to how am I politically involved?
About the flowers I sent you yesterday that you never said anything about,
Damn.
and I'm hurt.
Got you. This is the intervention, Aaron. We just wanted to know about the flowers.
Well,
Oh,
girl, they're dead because I didn't know they were there. Tell them to ring the doorbell next time because I don't go outside.
I don't have to do everything, Aaron. I don't have to do everything. Can you take any
If
responsibility?
you want to run
this
for governor, you got to
relationship?
be okay with doing everything. Okay, because right now they're doing
No.
nothing.
I hire staff, Aaron, to do everything.
Jesus. But as far as politically goes, I'm getting more into it. Honestly, thanks to Over the Ledge. As we all know, I did not participate in the 2012 election. I couldn't in 2012, and then out of spite, I didn't in the 2014 elections. But I am more politically involved now. It all kind of really stemmed from like learning that it wasn't too long ago that like my family had to start like paying like poll taxes, like or election taxes in order to just vote. And that to me was just kind of absurd. And ever since then, I've become a VDVR in 2 counties.
That's right. Good for you.
Because I accidentally signed up for the Harris County and didn't realize it. But hey, if you need to get registered to vote in Harris or Travis, I got you. And I plan on being involved with Greg Casad's political endeavors as he is running. And if anybody drops their name for governor, I'll help too. But damn, nobody's done anything.
Stephanie Chiarello.
You haven't put your name out there. It's not on the ballot.
I have put my name out there, but I'm a woman.
Are you gaslighting me? Are you lying?
I have said I've been thinking about running for governor. That is true. But
Okay,
that's
yes, that specific statement is true.
that specific statement is true. And I thought, here, we're just going to talk about me for a second, is I really wanted to do it. I wanted to act as if I were running for governor and be sincere about it as an effort to use that campaign to teach people about how to campaign. So I wanted to run it through Over the Ledge and try to really get people
Oh, that'd be
involved in the process. Like, how do I file? How do I put together, my kitchen cabinet is what they call it. How do I fundraise? And I was going to put up a video that said, like, if I can get 50,000 likes on this video, then I really will file and run for governor. I never did those things. Part of the reason is that I said to my boss, I'm going to run for governor. And he said, okay. And I was like, no, seriously, I'm thinking about this. And he said, okay. And my colleague was in the room. And I was like, I've got a witness. And my boss was like, okay, yeah, I got it. You do it. You'll be great. Because he speaks like that. And then he saw my post and he was like, how are you going to work for me and run for governor? And I was like, boss, it's a shtick. It is and it isn't. So I enjoy being employed. So that's why I did not pursue my almost, I would have. If I had done that and I had gotten the number of likes, the metric I had said, I would have really run. But that's the truth.
I mean, I'm considering on for running for school board, so
I'm behind you,
Really?
100%, Aaron.
yeah. And I will tell you, kind of like a little fun thing that Matthew was saying. I actually had an uncle or a great uncle who was running for mayor in one of the small towns down home, and they were doing like a televised debate, and somebody called in and they were like, Mr. Salinas, are you drunk right now? And my great uncle or whatever was like, ma'am, that is, with all due respect, that is none of your damn business. So we have a great history of politics in my family.
All right, Amy, you got anything you want to say?
Oh, yeah, I enjoyed hearing Matthew talk about it, and I think we need to remember that the lieutenant governor is very powerful in Texas. As we hear about the governor and he gets in the press, but the lieutenant governor is the one that gets all these bills out there in the world like they are now. And if we have a good one, he can stop them. So that's a very important thing to remember.
I do too. All right, guys. Little slightly different structure here at the end, but I really enjoyed it. Amy, take us home.
All right. Thank you so much to our special guests, Matthew Dowd and Symply Courtney,
Yay!
most knowledgeable comedian in Austin.
That's right.
And Courtney, Symply Courtney, when and where can fans see you next?
All right. So most importantly, coming up, thank you guys so much for having me on here. I know it was kind of funny at the beginning. I didn't know what I was getting involved with, but thank y'all for inviting me. I really enjoyed myself.
Thanks
this
for
was
being here.
Informative, and it was a really fun time. So thank you so much. Let's see. Up next, I am doing. So I'm hosting a show tomorrow. This is live, right? This is live.
Yes.
Yeah, but
It's
it'll
always
be
weird.
posted.
What?
It's live, but it'll be posted. Oh, you have a show to borrow. Okay, it'll be posted.
Well, because I was trying to think about time as comics, where I was trying to think of time as being the essence. All right, so in the current, which may be in the past by the time this comes out on other things, I have a show over in Maynard, Texas that's called Live Ace and Station. It's a comedy show that happens at 8 o'clock over in Maynard, Texas. Check me out, social media, Instagram, Facebook, whatever, and you'll see all that there. Other than that, the most important thing I have is every third Friday of the month, I host an online comedy show for those that aren't really a fan of getting back out into the crowded world that it is, because we are still slightly in the pandemic. We're still in the pandemic, slightly about it. I have an online comedy show called The Callback. I do that every third Friday of the month on Zoom. All the stuff's on my page, so I butcher plugging it. But it's The Callback, and we bring comics from all over the world live to your room, to your mobile device, your car, wherever you're watching it. You can pay $5 and watch a full comedy show. You have 5 comics, myself hosting, and it's a really fun time. We've been doing this now for like the last almost a year and a half now. And I would say $5, you get more than your money's worth, and you don't have to do anything other than just log in and laugh in. Yes.
Got it. Thanks.
All right. The callback. Aaron, what about you? Are we going to be seeing you?
Yeah, I got a sketch show coming out, Fallout Theater, all the Saturdays all the first 3 Saturdays in December. Catch us there. Voyagers, I believe. It has. We don't have a title out yet, but yeah, just 7:00, first three Saturdays in December at the Fallout Theater in Austin, Texas.
All right. Stephanie, do you have any comedy shows coming up?
You know what? I actually am doing a fundraiser next week. I think on the 18th for a law nonprofit that helps find lawyers for people who can't afford them. I'll have to post it later. So I'll be telling jokes there.
Nice.
And then I hope to return to Wanderlust Wine Company for a show on Thursday, December 2nd, if Carson Quinn will have me.
That's a good place. All right. Thank you so much to Symply Courtney and to Aaron Salinas and to our Over the Ledge benevolent empress, Stephanie Chiarello. Thank you to our sound engineer, Tom Booker. And remember, Tom Booker loves you.
Oh. And he also has started up his podcast again, the Good Morning I Love You show, which is a little bit of positivity every day. Thank you, Amy Lowrey, for guiding us through this episode as always. A second thank you to our sponsors. We couldn't do this without you. We had the most number of likes and viewers today, so we're doing something, everybody. And the truth is, it doesn't matter. I like you. And
Yay.
That's enough.
And that's our show. If you like what you heard, please subscribe to our podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Please like us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and now TikTok as at Over the Ledge.
Over the ledge, lost sanity. I'm